Hello, welcome to my channel, Another Bibliophile Reads. My name is Greg, and I am here to do the book acquiring tag. Now, I am behind on doing some older tags. I have not done the Faces of Horror tag, but that is deliberate. I am waiting until Horror Mayhem to release that tag or to record it. I have not done the Canterbury Tales tag, which I need to do. I have not done a Booktubers You Love tag. And for the people who tagged me, I am going to get around to them. It's just a little bit crazy right now. And I want to do this tag because it does not require a whole lot of research on certain books. There will be workmen coming today to install solar panels on my roof, and that might get very noisy. So I want to make sure that I record this tag before those workmen arrive. This tag has 11 prompts. It was created by Enter the Book, and I was tagged by Michael K. Vaughan. And he was concerned that my vicious rogues might come a Viking to his manor and steal some of his precious books. But you know, he has a very good guard dog in Rhonda, and I'm not getting past Rhonda to get to his books. I'll have to find easier victims to get my books from. So, prompt number 1. Do you plan your book purchases ahead, or do you impulse buy? For the most part, it's impulse buy. When I read a review of a book, somewhere in the Washington Post, the New York Times, NPR, or Booktubers mention it, what I do is put that book on my Amazon wish list. Now, this is a closed wish list, and I usually put the Kindle version on. So every day or so, I review that list to see what books are on sale. If that book is cheap enough, I go ahead and buy. So I may read a review of a book in October, and it might be August before that book goes on sale, and I will just click buy. It's like $1.99 or $2.99. And I do have a problem buying cheap Kindle books. I know I just came off the 100 book challenge where I didn't buy any of those, but now that that challenge is over, I am creeping back to my old bad habits of buying those books rather quickly and too often. Number 2, how do you decide what books to buy? I think I just mentioned that. It's mostly reviews in BookTube now. Put in my wish list and see what happens. What is your philosophy on where you shop? Online versus in person, large versus small, physical, digital, audio, new, used, etc. I will buy any kind of book there is. Right now, I probably buy more digital books on Amazon. And that is simply because I started with digital books on Amazon in 2008 when they first released the Kindle. Before that, I had a PDA where I bought from like Fiction Wise and some other resellers. Now, almost all those other resellers have now gone out of business. You cannot get those PDAs. The Microsoft Reader format is gone kaplooey. And all those books that I originally purchased, I still have copies, but I really don't read them anymore. I can remove the digital rights management if I choose. Not really legal, but there's really none of those books that I ever want to read. So there you go. I love audiobooks. I have been listening to audiobooks for a long time, and I am a subscriber to Audible. So I'll buy lots of books on Audible. I do like shopping in physical bookstores. Unfortunately, where I live in Fredericksburg, Virginia right now, there are not a whole lot of good bookstores. We have a Barnes & Noble. It is a suburban Barnes & Noble. So they cater to that suburban family stock. So you're not going to find a lot of the more esoteric books or the eclectic books that I like. You will find a lot of bestsellers and a lot of young adult and a lot of very popular science fiction. So when I go into the Barnes & Noble, I rarely ever come out with a book. We have a few used bookstores. We have River Books in downtown Fredericksburg, and that's not a bad used bookstore. It's just not very large. We have another little paperback exchange, and they have a lot of older paperbacks, and sometimes that's good, but that's it. There's nothing compared to like Elliott Bay Books in Seattle, which was just such a magnificent bookstore. You could go in there for hours and just browse their shelves and try not to come out with a stack of books. I could drive up to Washington, D.C., where there's probably some better bookstores, but I just don't want to spend an hour in traffic and 15 minutes looking for parking. So most of my shopping is done online. I do occasionally buy other books, not from Amazon. Usually when that is like a bookstores hosting an event. There is this place called the Community Bookstore in Brooklyn, New York. And during the height of COVID, they were doing some good, Zoom calls of authors talking about their books. And I would buy the books at that community bookstore when they did those events, even though it was cheaper on Amazon, because I want to support the bookstore for holding the event. Talking about used books. I love used books, but I like quality used books. I do not like the used bookstores that are very well thumbed or written in. I just do not like writing in the margins of books, and I dislike it when I go to a used bookstore and buy a book, and I have not sufficiently perused that book to see that someone has been writing in it. So number 4, what about little free libraries? What do you think of them? Have you used one? Why or why not? There is a website you can go to for looking up these little free libraries. I have gone to 3 sites in Fredericksburg that say they have little free libraries. 2, there was nothing there. I could not find the little free library. I don't know if it was just hidden from me because I didn't get out in my car and stalk the neighbors. And these are generally suburban houses where the little free library is usually in front of the street and you can see it right away. I don't know how often those websites are updated, but I could not find 2 of them. I did find one, and I'm pretty sure that had been abandoned or not maintained, or just not maintained well. They had about 4 musty old books in there. And so I like the idea of a little free library. A couple other booktubers occasionally do videos of them going around to little free libraries and showing what they find and showing what they put in there. And that sounds great. I just have not found one in my area, which is unfortunate. Number 5. How do you feel after acquiring a book? Do you share, like have a book haul or diary? I feel great when I buy books. I usually just put them on my shelves right away. I do use Library Thing to keep track of my newer books. That's sort of a diary. It just says I enter it. I put it on a shelf that I call repository. And a repository shelf is not necessarily something like a to-read shelf. It just means I own this book. And I don't do many book haul videos. I probably should do some more. I like watching them, so maybe I'll make some in the future. 6. How do you feel looking at your books that you haven't read? Does it matter if you currently have a lot or a little? There were a lot of books behind me that I have not read. And I'm very happy to have those books on my shelf because they are possibilities. There could be some really great books on that shelf that I am going to be floored saying, I bought this 10 years ago and it's fabulous and I've only got around to reading it now. So I'm quite happy not having unread books. It's like a huge, your own personal library where you can find something at whatever time you want it. Number 7, How do you decide what number of unread books is right? I'm going to paraphrase Michael K. Vaughan. There is no amount of unread books that is too many. Just none. You can have as many as you want. As long as you have the physical space in your house to hold them, you're good. And if you don't have that physical space, buy Kindle books because that space is unlimited. Just have unread books. Can we turn that into a tag? Just have unread books? Maybe. Number 8, do you have a TBR game or process for reading them? No. It's just whatever comes up. I know when I was doing the 100 book challenge, I dug deep into my shelves for short books so I could read those 100 books quicker. Maybe that was a game, maybe not, but in general, no. Number 8, do you have a book buying problem? If so, what is the nature of it and can it be adjusted? Well, I did manage not to buy books for the 100 book challenge, so I may have a problem buying books, but if I need to, I can control that problem. But really, I don't see why I should bother. I am not that constrained by financial means. I can basically buy all the books that I want within reason, as long as they're not limited edition or hugely expensive. I can basically buy any number of Kindle $1.99 books and not worry about it. So that part does not concern me. So no, it's not a problem. Number 10, tag 2 or 3 others to ponder their book buying processes. Well, I think most of the people have done this tag by now, and I'm trying to think of a few people who may have problems and who have not done it. I am not sure if Alice at the Giant Bookshelf has done this tag. I know she's trying to get through her giant TBR without buying more books, and is getting there. But let's have Alice do that and see about her book buying process. Elizabeth at Bokens and Books also has been talking about her TBR and her buying habits, and she's trying to get her TBR down. I know she did a video recently where she gave the number of books that she read and the number of books that she purchased, and the TBR went up by 1. So let's have Elizabeth do this if she wants to. Number 11, know that you are awesome. Just as you are, being a book lover is amazing. I think that is true. Everyone on BookTube is really amazing, even if they read different kind of books, because they're out here talking about the things that they love, which are books, and people are watching them and enjoying it. So everyone, thank you for watching this video and have a good day. Goodbye.